Steve Miller is our guest. Steve runs 11 nursing homes in southern Illinois, and the governor in the land of Lincoln has just announced cuts to reimbursement for nursing home operators. As of right now, Steve, it costs you about $170 a day to take care of somebody in one of your facilities. You get reimbursed $136, and the governor wants to cut that with 1 week's notice, 16%.
That's exactly right. In fact, that part of the legislation has already gone through. So we will, in fact, experience that cut even lower than 136 for the next 2 months.
What is the math quickly? 136 minus 16%, what does that come down to?
Well, it varies by home, but the average will be something in the $115 range.
And it costs you $170 to care for a person per day?
Per person per day. That's
okay.
Right.
And in Missouri, by the way, just to compare apples to apples, next door we have Missouri. What does Missouri reimburse its nursing homes?
Missouri's average is about $151 a day. So it's already a big chunk above what Illinois is, and then we're heading the other way from there.
And you're going down to 116.
Yeah.
This could be history, folks. It's the first time that Missouri's actually reimbursing anything greater than some other state.
That might be true.
It could be true. So nursing home operators are pretty like-minded on this one. They're pretty...
Yes, this is a funding problem that's going to affect every nursing home in the state that accepts Medicaid, which means that we are caring for upwards of 50,000 Illinois senior citizens, and from head to toe and around the state, everybody's going to be taking a big hit if this goes through.
So what are we're gonna have less staff, no lunch, no meds, what?
Well, there is no doubt that staffing is going to be one of the areas that has to be hit. We don't have any margins to begin with. As you said, it already costs more to provide the care than we've been getting paid up until now. So if and when these cuts come through, that's going to mean that they have to be passed through, let's call it dollar for dollar, to the cost structure in the nursing homes throughout Illinois. That means staffing, that means food budgets, that means supplies, that means transportation, that means up and down the line in everybody's operation.
Currently, as it stands right now, you're losing money on the Medicaid patient or the Medicaid client. Are you able to say no to Medicaid patients? Can you say, we're not going to accept them?
Generally, it's you are in or you are out. If you choose to be a licensed and certified facility, then you're making a deal with the community that you are and with the state that you will accept Medicaid patients into your facility. And I might add to that, other aspects of the Medicaid program are under the same budget scrutiny as the nursing homes are. But the key difference here is that these upwards of 50,000 residents already live in these nursing homes. Mm-hmm. If reimbursement to doctors, let's say, is cut, well, a doctor can just simply make the decision to stop taking Medicaid patients, and then those patients will then go on and find some other solution to, have doctor services. We can't do that. They're already there. We can't just put them out on the curb, nor would we. So we've already made our commitment. We've already accepted them as residents, and so we will be forced to meet their needs in some fashion under these budgets, which is going to be a dire situation.
So what do you think is going to happen? Staff?
Well, I do think staffing is going to be cut. Nursing homes expend a large percentage of their budget on staffing. It's our number one cost in any nursing home that you will go to. The nurses, the CNAs, the dietary workers, the housekeepers, these are very hardworking people who do it for the love of their community and the elderly citizens that they're helping, and there will have to be cuts to that.
They're not highly paid to begin with, are they?
For the most part, these are entry-level plus jobs. And one of the points that we've tried to make to the governor and to his budget team is that when we have to cut our staffing because these Medicaid cuts come through, we will then be losing jobs that are those entry-level jobs that our economy actually needs. The people that will not have their jobs will be the first ones at the door of the state because they don't have the other options that some other people might have. They will be knocking on the doors of the state to receive assistance. So it kind of becomes a catch-22. The state thinks it's going to save some money by spending a little bit less with us, but then they're going to turn right around and have to write the checks for public support for those employees that have lost their jobs.
So what do you think is the solution? After all, Governor Rauner is facing, a $40 billion deficit, whatever the case is.
Yeah. Well, it's not $40 billion, but it is a big deficit. There's no doubt about that. The two things that I think come into the solution here, number one is that up until the beginning of this year, we had a temporary additional income tax that was in place for the last 4 years, or last 3 years. And there will have to be some kind of a replacement of that temporary income tax until the spending side of the equation gets in order. The second part that's going to happen is that the spending increases that have grown within the Illinois state budget do need to be reversed. And that's why I'm here to speak out on behalf of the nursing home piece of this, because the nursing home part never got invited to the party in the first place. The state's expenditures to nursing homes in this current year are no higher than they were in 2009. We're not the line item of the budget that has been blowing up. So to turn around and include us in the same kind of severe, deep cutting that's been going on with other programs that have had a lot of additional funding doesn't make sense.
Compare the amount of money you get per resident at your nursing home, $116, to other reimbursements in other Midwestern states. You mentioned earlier, Missouri, $151 a day per resident.
Right.
What about Minnesota or the others?
I don't have all of the numbers right in front of me, but every other state that borders on Illinois is higher than Illinois and actually is even higher than Missouri. Of those contiguous states, Missouri is the second lowest at 151. So they're 170, 180, upper 100 range on average in these other states.
Who's the lowest in the country?
I'm not 100% positive. It's not right around here.
Okay. What do you recommend people do? Contact their state senators?
Absolutely. We've been going around arranging meetings and visits with our elected officials. They are going to have the most important say in the budget decisions that get made. So we're really calling out to the community, those people that are supportive of high-quality care for the seniors in your area and are supportive of stable, strong, quality jobs for people in your community to get involved. And you can do that by making phone calls to your representative and your senator in your district. I would invite everybody to take a look at this website. It's www.ihca.com. That means Illinois Healthcare Association, IHCA. And you could get information on that site to find out the phone number of your elected officials.
Okay, this is Steve Miller. He's with Bridgemark. You operate 11 nursing facilities in southern Illinois. What are some of the towns?
We have 2 that are in Belleville, right here in your listening area. We're in Greenville. We're in Jerseyville, Hillsboro, Benton, Energy, Champaign, Olney.
Very well, very well. And again, the state is cutting reimbursement for the residents at nursing homes 16% with a 1 week notice, did you say?
Yeah, we got that word about a week ago.
Okay, so
starts on the 1st.
Why don't we turn you into our Illinois nursing home correspondent, and we'll follow this issue as it progresses or degresses and check in with you every once in a while, and you can let us know what's going on.
We'll be sure to keep you updated.
We have a new parting gift now for guests of the Charlie Brennan Show, and you're the first one to receive it. And we think it's appropriate for those who have decided for whatever reason to be a guest of the program, a package of What Are You Nuts? Which is, in your case, stark raving chocolate, an insane cluster of almonds, cashews, and sunflower seeds, piled with real chunks of chocolate, available at all self-respecting grocery stores again. So thanks for joining us. So What Are You Nuts?
I am honored.
Yeah, I can tell as he runs for the exit here on The Voice of St. Louis. Okay, a couple of things here. We're going to talk a little bit about the